Hello everypony, and welcome to my review of Wonderbolts Academy. Well, this was it. The moment Rainbow Dash fans had been waiting nearly 2 years for. Rainbow's chance to join the Wonderbolts. This episode had a lot to live up to. We've known about Rainbow's dream to join the Wonderbolts since the very first episode of MLP, and if the writers screwed it up, this could easily become one of the most hated episodes in the show. It had to be handled with extreme love and care. So surely they handed the story outline to Megan McCarthy. No? Okay, M.A. Larson? Amy Keating-Rogers? Cindy Morrow? Well then who the heck did write this episode then? Celestia, no. What have you done, DHX? What have you done? You've made a terrible mistake! Okay, let's just get this over with. The episode begins with the main six having a picnic near Rainbow Dash's house, and Pinkie is anxiously awaiting for Rainbow's mail to arrive. The main six are specifically waiting for Rainbow to receive a letter regarding her application to the Wonderbolts Academy. When the letter finally arrives, Rainbow is heartbroken to find out.
I didn't get in.
Well, that's the end of the episode. I rate it a skip it. Worst episode ever. And as always, never stop yada yada. Where's my Chrysalis body pillow?
Gotcha!
Theme. So Dashi soon arrives at the Wonderbolt Academy and is clearly in her own personal heaven, realizing this is the place where her lifelong dream of becoming a Wonderbolt could come true. Wait, hold up. That's a bad OC, animators. No. Bad animators. No bad OCs. Wait, is that Andrea Libman's OC? Okay, animators, that makes up for the bad one. Continue. Miss Williams? What are you doing to Spitfire? Miss Williams? Stop! I have to say, this is kind of a blow to my headcanon. Heck, this whole episode rips apart my headcanon. I always envisioned the Wonderbolts as a kind of performance group. I'm pretty sure that the show staffers have even said at conventions that the Wonderbolts were inspired by the US Navy's Blue Angels flight team. It was my headcanon that while the Wonderbolts were sanctioned by Celestia as part of her royal guard and could be called upon to provide assistance to the princess in times of crisis, their primary goal was just to entertain. This was further solidified for me by the episode Sweet and Elite, where Fancy Pants takes Rarity to see the Wonderbolts Derby, where the Wonderbolts are just racing each other to entertain a crowd. But this episode just throws all of that out the window in favor of making the Wonderbolts the straight-up Air Force of Equestria. I perceive Spitfire to be laid back and chill all the time. She was a leader, sure, but I never pictured her being the drill sergeant type. I have to admit, over the course of this show, she's becoming less and less of a positive presence in the show, and that really bothers me, considering how myself and many other fans fell in love with her character, especially after her appearance in The Best Night Ever. She was supposed to be Rainbow's mentor, a supportive and caring pony with a heart for speed, but the more episodes she's been in, the more she's starting to be painted as an antagonist. That's just kinda heartbreaking for me, but let's move on. Ah, Snowflake.
It's bulk biceps.
No, it's not. His name is Snowflake. For Celestia's sake, they butchered Spitfire. Let me have this. As much as I detest Drill Sergeant Spitfire, I like this bit of dialogue between Rainbow and her here. Spitfire has seen Dashi numerous times before and knows she's talented and has what it takes to be a Wonderbolt. So that's why she specifically tries to insult Rainbow's ability to fly. She knows that Rainbow probably is, in fact, the best flyer there. So such an insult will specifically motivate Rainbow to give it her all at the Academy. I may not like Spitfire behaving this way, but I have to admit that she's certainly doing a bang-up job motivating these recruits. Pretty soon, we're introduced to Lightning Dust, a pony that wants to be a Wonderbolt just as bad as Rainbow Dash, and is just as talented as her when it comes to flying. She seems to even share Rainbow Dash's personality. I have to say that Lightning Dust is by far my favorite new character from Season 3. I know we didn't get too many new characters this season, but I just love everything about Lightning Dust. I could tell you all my reasons why, but I think it's best to save them till the end of the review. We get a brief comedic scene with Pinkie waiting by the mailbox for Dashi's letter from the Academy. This secondary plot of Pinkie waiting for Dashie's letter feels a little bit forced at first, like it was just there to give the other main cast some work for their paycheck. But don't worry, this indeed does go somewhere and is actually quite integral to the main plot of Dashie's time at the Academy. Back at the Academy, Spitfire is testing the new recruit's recovery abilities with the Dizatron.
6 seconds? That's an Academy record.
Ah, that meme never gets old for me. Once it becomes Lightning Dust's turn to ride the Dizatron, we start to see how she differs from Rainbow Dash. She specifically asks Spitfire to crank the Dizatron up to full power so she can, quote, push her limits. And she does manage to impress everyone by finishing only half a second slower than Rainbow. The next day, the ponies at the Academy are paired into teams. Having received the quickest time in the Dizatron, Rainbow thinks she's got the lead pony role locked down, but is a bit disappointed to find out that she is actually a wing pony underneath Lightning Dust, who is granted the lead pony role. Confused by Spitfire's decision, Dash enters Spitfire's office to confront her about it, only to find out it was Lightning Dust's desire to push herself that persuaded Spitfire to make her the lead pony instead of Rainbow. Dash is saddened by this news, but goes along with it anyway, not wanting to challenge her commanding officer's authority. Later that day, the pairs of ponies play a game of flag hunt, trying to collect the opposing team's colored flags. Upon trying to receive a flag with Lightning Dust, Rainbow realizes that they're flying a bit too fast to safely enter the crevice where the flag is, and she tries to get Lightning Dust to slow down, but Lightning disregards Rainbow's concerns and flies into the hole at top speed. Rainbow is forced to follow, resulting in her injuring her wing. Again, Lightning doesn't seem to care about Rainbow's injury as she doesn't stop for a moment to check on her partner. Back in Ponyville, Pinkie is still awaiting the letter from Dashie. The rest of the main four, concerned about Pinkie's mental state, suggest that she write to Rainbow Dash first. This idea eventually escalates into the main five deciding to visit Dash at the Academy to drop off a care package.
I've got it! We'll deliver the care package to Rainbow Dash in person.
While this phrase does break the whole person equals pony wordplay that we've been seeing throughout the show, I guess it does sound better than the alternative. Saying in pony just sounds dirty. Meanwhile, back at the Academy, the teams prepare for the Wonderbolt obstacle course. Spitfire says this course isn't a race, but it seems like Lightning aims to treat it as such by giving a wink to Rainbow Dash. Throughout this obstacle course, Lightning gets annoyed that the other teams are slowing her down, and at the first opportunity plows through them to get ahead. Rainbow is visibly bothered by this behavior and tries to voice her concerns to Lightning once again, but Lightning tries justifying her behavior as she is helping the other teams get some, quote, practice with recovering from a spin-out. Rainbow still doesn't agree, but concedes to Lightning and pretends to agree with her. The next exercise is cloud busting. Despite Lightning and Rainbow already having a huge lead against the other teams, Lightning suggests to Rainbow that they create a tornado to get an even bigger edge against the rest of the competitors. Rainbow is conflicted, but decides to follow along, hoping that mimicking Lightning's attitude will help her get in Spitfire's good graces. The tornado that Lightning and Rainbow create ends up engulfing Twilight's balloon as the main five approach the Academy to deliver the care package to Rainbow Dash. See? Told you that plotline was going somewhere. Dash quickly realizes the urgency and rushes to save her friends. Once they've all safely landed on the ground, Lightning Dust starts ranting and raving about how quote-unquote awesome the tornado they created was. Now, Dash has finally had enough. She yells at Lightning about her reckless behavior throughout her time at the Academy and putting her friends in danger, but Lightning seems to care more about being the best at the Academy than the safety of Dash's friends. Dash then goes to voice her concerns about Lightning to Spitfire, and tells her that if being reckless is what being a Wonderbolt is about, then she wants no part in it, and she quits the Academy. If you were headed into this series in Season 3, then this probably wouldn't be that crazy of a scene. It would still be touching to see Dashie stand up for what she believes in, but that's where the feels would end. However, those who have followed the show from its beginning were absolutely shocked at this scene when it first aired. Since the pilot episode over 2 years prior to this episode's original air date, us fans have watched Rainbow Dash try and try and try to live her dream to become a Wonderbolt. Being a Wonderbolt means the world to her. So to see her be so close to achieving that goal in this episode, and then decide to throw it all away when it nearly comes at the cost of her friends' lives, was so moving. This level of loyalty is astounding, and it was amazing to see Dash live up to her element, even when it came at the cost of her lifelong dream. This has brought up a fan question since the airing of this episode of whether or not Rainbow even should be a Wonderbolt, as this episode made fans question whether or not Rainbow would truly be happy doing it. In my opinion, I would much rather see Dashie start her own flight team that revolves around her belief in loyalty and friendship than to see her become a Wonderbolt, but that's just my opinion. Suddenly, Spitfire comes back outside to address Dash and tell her that she agrees with her.
It's not not just about pushing ourselves. It's about pushing ourselves in the right direction.
I love this message that Spitfire gives here. This is the Spitfire I know and love. It only took her 20 minutes to show up, but hey, at least she realizes she was wrong. Spitfire then strips Lightning of her lead pony rank and gives it to Rainbow Dash, instating her back into the academy. However, I think it was kinda wrong to show Lightning being treated this way, and I've heard about way too many fanfics where Lightning becomes super depressed after this. I don't think she should have gotten off scot-free, but this seems a bit harsh to me.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh!
And the return of Oh My Gosh from Sonic Rainboom is very welcome indeed. Now, on to why I love Lightning Dust so much as a character. She's a fantastic mirror for Rainbow Dash, just as Moondancer was a great mirror for Twilight Sparkle in Season 5's Amending Fences. Lightning Dust is the pony Rainbow Dash would have been had Rainbow never embraced the element of loyalty. Lightning Dust doesn't care who she hurts and is selfishly only thinking of her desire to win. She's in it for herself and no pony else. I love how her morals clash with Rainbow's morals despite having nearly identical personalities. I also love what the fans have made of her, showing the deep personal struggle she faces as a result of having her lifelong dream of joining the Wonderbolts being crushed. She serves as a great vessel for people to project themselves into who have had their hopes and dreams smashed to pieces as well. That's what makes her such a great character. So, what did I think of Wonderbolts Academy? I definitely think this is a fantastic addition to Season 3. We got some major character development from Rainbow Dash, Spitfire, as much as I dislike it, and a brand new character of Lightning Dust. The moral was also really great because it doesn't have to be applied to just tests of physical endurance. It can be applied to every facet of life. I know of many high school and college students that push themselves and burn themselves out on classes and homework, to the point where they probably aren't learning anything from the classes they have. This kind of message is perfect for people like that. As usual, I like to rate episodes in a 3-tiered system of rewatch it, watch it once, or skip it. I'd say Wonderbolts Academy is definitely one you should rewatch. Despite its blatant disregard for my headcanon, I'd still rate it as one of the gems of Season 3. As always, I'm Critical Thought, and I'll see you all in my next video. Never stop thinking critically.